Hi YouTube, and in this video I want to talk about the PS4. So this is the year in review 2016 PlayStation 4, and the contents of this video will be the console's SKUs or stock keeping units, or the different models that they have currently when making this video. The default gamepad, if there's any redesigns, what it's like, the overview of it. The games, which is subject to change by the developer, but I'll talk about what's currently available or what's currently in development, or what recently just got discontinued for the console or platform. And then I'll talk about PlayStation Plus. Then lastly, the direction or the conclusion of the video. So it would be like me talking about where do I think the PlayStation 4 is heading in. What kind of system is it trying to be, or is it most likely going to be? So without further ado, I'll talk about the console models. So now with the console SKUs, or stock keeping units, the original model, the PS4, launched at $399.99, which is basically $400. It has a removable 500 gigabyte hard drive. It has a native Blu-ray player, so there's no app to download. And it supported vertical and horizontal console positions, which was pretty cool. Then the next model, which is the die shrink, and it's an all matte console with more efficient components, and they may have added something else with it because of how small it is. So with the PS4 die shrink, which is the smaller one, it still has a removable hard drive, and it still contains 500 gigabytes. And it still supports vertical and horizontal console positions. So now with the PlayStation 4 Pro, it has 3 tiers. So it has like 3 levels to it. So the original PS4 had 2 tiers, but they had thicker blocks. The die shrink, which is the same console but smaller with more efficient components, had 2 tiers but thinner tiers or thinner blocks. It's kind of hard to explain, but there'll be like something on the side to denote what I'm talking about. And then the PlayStation 4 Pro has 3 tiers. I don't have a PlayStation 4 right now, but I'll most likely put a picture beside the text. So with the PlayStation 4, it's $500 Canadian. Has 3 tiers, like I said. It has 4K streaming, and it also upscales video content. It enhances gameplay and visuals that varies on the developer. So this console is touted by many gamers to be a beefed up 1080p console. That's what it's most likely is. It can probably still do 4K natively, but it will take more time for that to happen. But as of right now, it's more about having a better 1080p experience. And it also comes with a removable 1 terabyte hard drive. It enhances VR, and there's no 4K Blu-ray playback support. So that basically means like if you have a 4K Blu-ray, you can't physically put that disc in and play the content, but you can have digital content that's 4K and be played on the PlayStation 4 Pro. But you can't just play natively 4K Blu-ray discs. And I think the reason for that is because with the PlayStation 3, the games were on Blu-ray. So therefore, it made more sense to have a Blu-ray drive inside it, like a readable drive, because the games were on that. So even if the platform or format failed, the games were on that disc format. So with the 4K discs, the PS4 games are on the Blu-ray discs, like the original Blu-ray discs. So therefore, they probably didn't implement that because it would probably cost more money. And on top of that, the games aren't running on the disc. So therefore, why invest in something that maybe people will most likely not use, kind of thing. So that's my guess of why they did not implement it this time, but they implemented Blu-ray last time. And same thing with the PS2. The PS2 had games on the DVD format. From my memory, don't quote me on that, but from my memory, the PS2 had games on the DVD format. And then with the Xbox 360, they kept the DVD format, while The PlayStation 3, they added Blu-ray. So that was the main disc that they use for games. Now with the PS4, they maintain the Blu-ray stuff, and now the 4K is not used for gaming, so they probably didn't implement that. So it wasn't something that was added on. So that's my guess. So you can't play 4K Blu-ray discs, but you can with the Xbox One S and most likely with this Project Scorpio Xbox, which is not launched yet, but I'll talk about that in another video. So the default gamepad, basically the only difference here is that the light bar is now visible on top of the controller. So when you hold the controller, where there's the clickable touchpad, there's on the top of it, there's a line, and that's penetrating that's the light penetrating from the bar in front, penetrating through the clickable touchpad from the top. And that's basically it. From the only difference they made with the controller. They also have like these two Pro or Elite controllers that resemble the Xbox 360, but since it's not required for any of the games, it's not here. So now I'll be talking about the games. There is about 56 exclusives on the PS4, meaning that in order to play these particular games, you would need a PS4 to play them. I'll just name a couple off the top of my head. I'll probably have random 10 on screen, and I'll put the rest in the description. So there's like Detroit Becoming Human. Then there's Death Stranding, Days Gone. There's Basement Crawler, The Last of Us Part 2, The Last Guardian, Knack 2, Infamous Second Son, Gran Turismo Sport, God of War, an upcoming video game, hasn't been released yet, so therefore, and not much has been talked about that, so I have no idea what kind of title it is, so I just call it God of War for now. Fat Princess Adventures. I'm not sure about this particular game, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, meaning that they're going to revamp everything to make it look like how it would look like if it was released as a PS4 game. And I'm not sure if this is a time exclusive, because I know at the time it said at the launch, at the announcement trailer, it said play it first on the PlayStation 4, but I'm not hearing much of the other platform, and there's not much of it. There's not much talk about it. So, and I've seen it being listed as an exclusive, but I put an asterisk beside it, so I'm not sure if it's still going to the PC or Xbox 360 or Xbox One. So that's iffy. Another game would be Spider-Man. This is an upcoming game. There's Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, Until Dawn, Yakuza 6. So if any of these games, like I stated, and you want to play them, you have to buy a PS4 for them. And since there's about 56 exclusives, that's pretty good, because I think that's the most out of the 3 consoles I have. So the PS4 has the most exclusives. So keep that in mind. If you want to play certain games, there's about 56 games you need the PS4 to play them on. Otherwise, you can't play them. So I'll move on to the UI. So what you're seeing right now is the home screen for the PS4. So the top here, I like to call the icon section. Here is the content section, content section. And then here would be content pages. So this would be a content page. That's basically my terminology. I'm not sure if it's the official, but this is my terminology. So going back, starting from here, what's new? Basically think of it like notifications, but a live feed of notifications. So it shows me what my friends are doing, what's new in the store, and here's what's new in the store, what my friends are doing, what they're playing. There's trending content. So this is a live stream. Not sure what this is. I guess it's another live stream. Featured content. Plays you may know. Who to follow. And that's all in the live section. I mean, what's new? Here is TV and video. So Netflix. Netflix is not pre-installed, but the link is associated with the UI. So you don't have to go into the store to download the Netflix app, but the link is pre-installed here, but the app isn't. And I think YouTube too. I think Twitch was added later on, but YouTube was pre-installed with the default settings. So the link to download the YouTube app was there, but not the YouTube app itself. This is the game that's currently inside the PS4 right now. So this is what it looks like when it has that little disc thing near the start. So you can have the overview of the game, what's trending, what's associated with this game, and what's trending with it. Friends and communities, activities, PlayStation Store. So everything here has like hard links or soft links to the store to acquire certain things about the game. So you don't have to go to the store to get what you want from the game or associated to the game. So if you want something from Final Fantasy 15, you can just go here and click on it. Let's say, for example, this is a free version. It takes me to the store to download. I'm not going to download it now. Here are recent games I have played or installed. If it has a little disc icon beside the start, that means I own the physical copy. And if there's no disc beside the start, that means it's a digital copy. So it's not much here. Here's the live from PlayStation. So basically think of these as streams from PlayStation. Like the PlayStation console, not from PlayStation console manufacturer. So like this is what's trending. These are live feeds from PlayStation 4s. So I can just pop in this. Slaying noobs. Asuna. So it takes a while for it to clear up. I'll just back out. There's friends and following. I'm not following anyone, I think, unless your friends automatically unless you automatically follow your friends. These are games, so you can search streams based off of the game title. So if you want to look at a particular game and say, I'm looking at Battlefield 4, I'm thinking of buying Battlefield 1, I mean. You can look at a stream for Battlefield 1 and see how it looks. It may not be what you want to see at that particular moment, but whatever the person is streaming, you get to see what it's like. So that's pretty cool. And it's from the PS4. So you're looking at the PS4 versions here. So they're broadcasts. These are live broadcasts, video clips. So these aren't live, but they were live and they're archived and then they're sent here. Screenshots. I'm not sure how this works. I never actually used this feature. You can also go full screen with this if you wanted to. I can't hear the sound right now because I muted the sound for me, but if it's too loud, I'll probably mute it. But there is sound coming from the stream right now, even though I'm browsing. So it's essentially multitasking right now. So that's it. And to keep note that when you open or activate a function or feature or anything on this content section, it moves right to the far left. But this stays in this position, the store, and what's new stays in this position. So you don't have to go into the store to see generally what's inside it. So this is what they feature. So this is the content area. This is what I call content section. So these are just games. This is PlayStation Now. I tried this a couple of times. It's pretty cool. This is the browser. Not gonna do that. These are my videos. I don't have any videos, or PlayStation videos, I should say. These are the library. This is the library section. So these are all the stuff I have on my hard drive right now. This is aggregated for the games, and these are applications. And these are purchases. So this is similar to the Xbox One, where you can acquire a game, but you don't necessarily have to download them. So when you have that little arrow there, that means you can download them, and they haven't been downloaded. So see here, Battlefield 4, I think this is downloaded, so therefore it doesn't have the arrow. Drive Club, I think I own this now. I think before I had the PlayStation Plus version, but now I have the full version. So this is what I own. That's that. I'll go to the far right, PlayStation Plus. So this, you need a subscription. I think it's $10 more than Xbox Live. So I think Xbox Live is 60. I think this is 70. I could be wrong. But when I get to the section talking about PlayStation Plus, I'll have the accurate information there. So this tells you what you can get with PlayStation Plus. Play Titanfall 2 online with your friends with PlayStation Plus. So this is, you're not getting Titanfall 2 with this, but it's showing you that you can play multiplayer once you obtain a subscription. Like once you subscribe to PlayStation Plus. So this tells you what you can get the discount for, and I guess these are my PlayStation Plus games. I'm not here too often, to tell you the truth. I just play physical copies mainly. So these are all the PlayStation Plus games I have on the PS4. So these games came with the PlayStation Plus without a fee. Well, it comes with the subscription. So technically speaking, you're paying for it, but there's no additional cost to acquire them. Yeah. I guess that's about it. There's manage membership, and then it's cloud saves. I think with the Xbox One, the cloud saves are unlimited, but with the PS4 or PlayStation in general, you have a limitation to how much you can save. So keep that in mind. I think that's about it, yeah. I guess I got all the free games, that's why it's not showing here. Notifications. What's new? I have no idea what this is. Hopefully it's user friendly. Yeah, I have no idea what this is. So these are notifications, or what's new I should say. This is notifications. Invitations, none. Game alerts, none. Downloads. This is what I recently downloaded. Uploads. From PlayStation. So now PlayStation has a certain section. If they want to talk to all the users, they can like broadcast whatever message they want to send to PlayStation 4 users here instead of using the messaging section. Because before in PlayStation 3, they messaged you, and a lot of people would spam you with the same messaging feature. So now they have a dedicated PlayStation section where if PlayStation wants to talk to you or broadcast something, it comes here, and people can't spam you there. And these are discover, I should say. So basically think of this like menus, like not menus, manuals on how, or explanations on how to do things. If they add a new feature, something will be added there to explain it. Here are friends, communities. I'll go in here quickly. So friends, play together, join a community, or create your own. to easily find a multiplayer party, start a conversation, or join, or just hang out with people who share your interests. Communities you join will appear on your profile, and community-related game session information will be publicly displayed. I'm not in the community, so with any of the consoles, I don't use this feature, to tell you the truth. I probably should, but I don't. I'll check out Final Fantasy since that's what's new. Add me everyone, join our clan, chat, download, Telegram, Messenger, App Store, set, username, under settings, and search most COD, or kick gaming with most for help, then sub most wanted COD, looking for moderators, apply now. I guess this is what's publicly displayed. And then they have the members. And now playing. Nothing to join at the moment. Start a party or game session, invite some friends. So that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. That would be it for this. Events. So I guess this is associating to what games are coming out. Honestly, again, don't use this feature. Tournaments, invitations, messages. Not gonna go through here. Party. Yeah, you can. The share play is still here. I don't use share play, but share play means that, think of it like couch co-op, but over online or over the internet. So basically, someone can join your session, and you can play co-op with you as if they were playing right beside you. Here's the profile. I find the PlayStation profiles aren't as expressive as the Xbox profiles or Xbox Lives. So the About Me section, that's basically all I can write in the About Me section. I find it kind of pathetic, but that's the way it is. So this is the overview. Games I have, friends, communities, and something else. What I follow. So I only follow one person. What is this? Oh yeah, so the last part is communities. So the second part is what I'm following, and the first one is friends. Recent activities. I've been playing Final Fantasy 15. I haven't been playing too much, but I just started. I haven't done too much in the game, but people call this RPG. I think it's as far as I played, I would say it's an action game. There's trophies, so you can compare your trophies. You can see what you have. So I've been playing a couple of PlayStation Vita games. Rayman Origins. I had that for the PlayStation Vita. PlayStation 3. So quite a bit of games you can compare with friends, favorite groups, met players, and then settings. So that will be it for the PlayStation UI. It's more interactive, it's more dynamic than all the others. I guess Xbox Live or the Xbox UI is dynamic as well, but this caters to what you want. There's no additional advertisements unless you associate yourself with a content page like here. Then it starts advertising games or content associated to this. Like you're not going to see like a Nissan car being advertised here or something. You're not going to see a chocolate bar being advertised here. It's all within the store. Maybe within the store you might have unrelated advertisements, but on the PlayStation it's all PlayStation stuff. And then you go down here to content page, what's associated with this, what's trending, see what live feeds. So it's all aggregated to what you want to see or what you're selecting at that moment. So that's what I like about the UI. it caters to what you're selecting at that moment instead of catering to what they like the manufacturer thinks you want to look at. It already brings up what you want to look at based on what you select or highlight. So that will be it for the UI. I can show you, I guess, this. When you hold down the home button or the PlayStation button, sound and devices, you can control the volume for the controller, headset, output to headphones, so you can have like chat or game audio to your headset, adjust microphone volume, brightness on light bar, set time until controller turns off, turn off device, online friends you can check, music, I don't think I have any music, online status, and customize. So you can customize what you want in this short menu or this quick menu. And that's about it. There's nothing much I can say because this is supposed to be a quick UI video, but that's it. And now I'll talk about the PlayStation Plus. So there's no membership and there's the membership. So the no membership, you don't get online, and some of the social features are deactivated. So like sharing, I think is deactivated. I'm not sure what's deactivated, but I know some of the social features are deactivated when you don't have a membership. So when you have a Plus membership, you get to go online. There's an instant game library for the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, PSP, or PlayStation Portable. Only accessible with an active subscription. And the subscription prices are $70 per year Canadian. I think this is the most that a console is charging a person or a gamer for. It's $30 for a quarter. So basically that's like 3 months. $12 for a month and a 14-day trial for new memberships only. And they also support cloud saving, but I'm not sure if it automatically saves to the cloud like it does with the Xbox. But I know actually, you know what? I think it does save to the cloud automatically, but it doesn't do it instantly. It backs it up at a certain point, maybe like when it's not active, the console's not active. But don't quote me on that. And also, the PlayStation Plus members have discounted games. And with the PlayStation, it doesn't support all CRUD operations. So that means create, read, update, deactivate, which is basic programming implementations or operations you should put into a software if you want to make it user-friendly as possible. So the usernames aren't editable. So you cannot change the usernames, which is weird because it should be a CRUD operation. You should be able to change your username and not screw up the database. But my guess is because you can't, is because they probably use the username as a primary key, and the primary key shouldn't change. They should have used an independent field as a primary key and have a separate field to be a unique identifier for the player. So therefore, if they change the username, the primary key is independent from that, so therefore that primary key wouldn't change. You know who the person is despite their name changes. But I think they use the primary key. They use the username as a primary key, and that's what screwed up Sony because they don't know much on design. Is my opinion, but I'm not sure if that's true. I can't prove that. And now the sub account users, they can upgrade to the master account with no fee. That's a plus. That's supporting CRUD operations right there, but the usernames don't support CRUD operations. But I want to put that in that sub accounts now can upgrade to master accounts without a fee. And PlayStation's backwards capability is in the form of streaming, and it's called PlayStation Now. So for a year, it's about $100 per year. It's $45 a quarter, which is 3 months. And $10 a month. And there's a 7-day free trial. And the platforms that this is available on is the PlayStation TV, PlayStation Vita, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and Windows PC. So with playing old PlayStation games, you don't need a PlayStation console to play the old games now. You can stream them on your PC and play them off of your PC. So that's pretty cool. But the internet connection required for the streaming is 5 megabytes per second or greater, which is pretty decent. And there's about 450 plus games available for the PlayStation Now subscription, which is basically playing older PlayStation games, but you're streaming it to a device. Keep that in mind. It's a stream. You're not downloading it, so it's kind of like Netflix, but with gaming. So think of it like that. You choose what you want to play. It establishes the connection, the stream, and you start playing like that. Or think of it like when you watch your favorite streamer, and you're seeing the person streaming and playing the game. Basically, that's what it is. And lastly, I'll talk about the conclusion and the grading. The PlayStation 4 looks like it's going to be the best gaming experience first, then a multimedia powerhouse like the PlayStation 3 was, the last generation, which is okay. I think that's decent. It's good to have gaming first before multimedia, because I think Xbox One is kind of pushing multimedia on the same caliber as gaming, which is kind of a problem, because if you don't want to use that, most of the hardware is being used for something that's not is being partitioned for something that people may not use. So it's good to have a focus on gaming first and at a higher caliber than multimedia, because if you don't use the multimedia functions, not that much hardware is partitioned for that. So I think it's good in the sense, because it's a gaming console first. Kind of like when someone's talking about being a police officer. I'm a police officer first, friends second. This is the same thing here. Gaming first, multimedia device second. And the overall grading for this is a C+. So the pros overall for the PlayStation consoles, it has about 56 exclusive titles. It has a removable internal hard drive disk or hard drive. It has a standard phone jack for all controllers. It has fast physical media downloads and segregated online downloads. So like what I mean by segregated online downloads, you can download the campaign first or the multiplayer first. But with the physical media, it downloads the games fast. Like maybe 1 or 2 minutes you can get into the game. It might be downloading in the background, but overall you can get into the game like that. As long as it's not online. If it's a single player or the campaign mode, you can get into it and start playing right away while it's downloading. While with the Xbox One, you cannot do that. Or the Wii U, you cannot do that. So right now, the console that's doing this the best is the PlayStation. Another major pro is that the PlayStation is a collectible console. The physical games are playable without an initial update. So basically, when you get a PlayStation 4, if you don't want to connect it online, you don't want to pay for PlayStation Plus or anything, and you pop in a game, it will work. With the Xbox One, you need to connect online in order to play your games offline. So this is a major plus here. PlayStation Now is available on PC, PS4, PS3, PS Vita, and it streams PS3 or older games over the internet with a fee. So I consider this a plus because you can play on multiple platforms, including PC, so you don't even need a PlayStation console to play older PlayStation games. But keep in mind, it's a streaming service. It's not a downloading a game from a server and playing it on that device. It's streaming to a device, so keep that in mind. And lastly, with the pros, the controllers come with rechargeable batteries. Some people say it is bad and some people say it's good, but overall, you don't have to worry about batteries. All you have to worry about is the cords. So this is a major plus. Like for example, with my Xbox One, I have to worry about batteries and the cords. With the PlayStation, I only have to worry about the cords. The batteries can always be recharged. And if they ever die out, you just have to open up the controller, which is probably not going to happen often, because even with my PlayStation 3 controllers, I had them over about maybe 7 years, maybe even more, and the controller still recharges. So the batteries do last a while, from my understanding. So I'm assuming that practice is being carried over to the PlayStation 4. They could have used a different company or a different method for the PlayStation 4, but I'm assuming, giving the history of the rechargeable batteries for the PlayStation 3 and still lasting about 7-8 years without replacing the battery, this is a good thing. So I don't have to worry about batteries. I just have to worry about the cords. So there's about 2 cons for the PlayStation right now. It does not support CRUD operations. So that basically means like the basic programming operations. So like read, update, deactivate, and create. So with online IDs, you cannot edit them. Once you make an online ID or username, you're stuck with it forever. And I think that's a major problem, because you should support CRUD operations, especially with an ID. Like some people might want to change it, and you can't do that. And I think because of Sony doesn't know design as well as they may think they do, because they probably use it as a primary key, as I stated before, but I won't get into that again. And there's no external hard drive disk support. So basically, if you have an external hard drive, you cannot connect it using USB to expand the memory. Having it this way, it's a less of a con, but it's still a con, because maybe you want to just have an external hard drive for backup, and then use the internal drive for active downloads or active content, and then just have the external hard drive as back burner content, or like content you're not really into right now, but wouldn't mind having on the side when you want easy access to it without downloading it again from the service, depending on how the game is retrieved. So maybe you might have digital titles and you want to put it on external hard drive, or maybe it's physical games, but you want to keep the installs on a physical hard drive, but on a backup hard drive. So you can't really do that. So it's good that the internal hard drive can be expanded, so therefore the active content can be accessible within the console without taking up any more room on the shelves. But it would be nice to have an external hard drive where you can have like backup content, or content that's not as active as the other content that you have internally, but would have easy access to it. So that would be nice, but it's not a major con, but it's still a con. The last con for the PS4 is turning off HDCP protection. Forces the user to hard reboot the console. So when I turn off HDCP, that means like you're able to record whatever your PS4 is doing. For some reason, it goes to a black screen, or black or blank screen, however you want to say it, and nothing happens. So I reboot the console, and then I check the settings, and HDCP protection is off. So that tends to be a problem. It's not as smooth, but when you turn it on, it's okay. But when you turn it off, for some reason, it's always on a blank screen, and nothing happens. So I just reset the console, and it's fine. So that might be like just my console, or it could be like a nationwide thing or whatever. But I thought it was important to notify or to point this out. So keep that in mind when you turn off HDCP. For my console, at least, it like freezes up or something. So yeah, the overall grade for the PlayStation 4 is a C+. It's primarily a gaming machine. I would say if you're looking into the PlayStation 4 and you don't have a PlayStation 4 right now, get a Pro. You may not see the differences right now, because it's basically like the launch of a new console. When something is first launched, people have to get used to the new tech inside. So don't worry about if you already have the original PlayStation 4, your games are still going to be playable. It's just that, so when you pop a game into the PlayStation 4 Pro, it will have enhancements to the game. So you might have 1080p 60 frames per second, while on maybe the original PlayStation 4 it might be 720 30 frames per second, for example. So think of the Pro as like an iPhone 5S or 6S or 7S. So basically it's in the same generation, but it has slight upgrades or enhancements to better the experience, but not necessarily dominate the experience from the predecessor within that same generation. So just keep that in mind, that it's just a console that enhances the experience. It is not supposed to dominate the experience. And I think that's kind of the confusion with games or gamers that today I find, or on YouTube I've noticed. They're saying that they don't see much of a difference, but all it is just an enhancement console. Kind of like how if you buy an iPhone 6 Plus S and it's not much of a difference. People say, oh, maybe it's a little bit faster. That's about it. Or it might have added a little more features, and that's about it. Like the the upgrades are minor, but they're major enough to be noticeable that you should be looking into it. But they're not major in the sense that you're not going to see dramatic differences. It's not going to dominate the generation because it has slightly better hardware, but it will be noticeable in the sense that it has enough stuff in it to be noticeable, so like to be considering buying it. But if you have a PlayStation 4, the original model, it's up to you whether you want to buy it or not, but it is enhancing the experience. So if you want to return in your PlayStation 4 and get the new one, you could do that. I'm probably going to get one eventually, but I'm not going to get one right now, but I will get one eventually. But all it is just enhancing the experience. So that will be it for the year in review for the PlayStation 4.